everybody, welcome back to the Bill and Ray Show. I'm out in the torch shop, first marble of 2025, and I've got a little tool that I've just put together, a little piece of sheet metal bent up, and that's going to allow me to do some manipulation with some Frit. So the first thing I'm going to do is play around with this little thing and see if I can come up with a pattern. So I already did this once, but I don't have much practice at doing this. So let's see if I can repeat what I just did a few minutes ago. So I just got a little bit of Frit spread out, and then with this tool, the idea was to try and make a pattern in the Frit. Originally I was kind of thinking that this was just going to magically make these arms. It didn't quite do what I expected. How many arms do I want? I want a starfish. And this is going to be basically an implosion core, or compression if people prefer, in solid glass. So by curving this, I was hoping to kind of create these spiraling kind of arms. They don't quite come up with the spiral that I was hoping for. I know this is a lot of fiddling around, but well, you could do this forever, I guess. So we're just going to have to shape these up a little. So I took just a little strip of sheet metal, bent it over tight, pounded that edge down, and then just kind of bent this up as one piece, and then spread this out to come up with this final shape. So I'm going to do that in a couple different layers. So we're going to have to start out getting our main glass rod shaped up. Turn off our little heater for now. Hopefully things got warmed up in here. So I hope you all are doing well. This is my first time sitting down at the torch for 2025. A week ago, I was having a little minor surgery, so I'm recovering well from that operation, but Still going to have a ways to go before I can really return to normal activities. But I'm really grateful for our local hospital to have a doctor and modern robotic equipment to do a procedure like this with minimal invasive surgery. So I'm glad to get that behind me. Looking forward to getting onto more of a full recovery here. So I took a little break through Christmas and New Year's in this operation. We had kind of a quiet holiday for the most part. We had a chance to make a little road trip and get together with some family. We're congregated over in Bozeman, Montana. They basically didn't even have any snow over there. It's not unusual for us to drive over there at Christmas time and have the roads be pretty clear, but which they were. Till we were coming home. Then it was snowing and being funky most of the way home, but it was okay. But in Bozeman itself, side streets were pretty nasty, but most of the streets were clear, which is pretty unusual for Christmas time in Bozeman. Seemed that way to me anyway. So I need to build up a large flat end onto my construction rod here. So there's a lot going on in the outer world, and I'm hoping to take this time. Been out here for a little while getting ready, but take this next stretch of time to just kind of enter a creative realm and try and just put out some good energy for whatever is going on in people's lives right now. We just always wish everybody the best. We have our own struggles here, but we're very blessed to live where we are, and knock on wood, we escape a lot of the craziness. Okay, I'm going to switch over here. I'm going to be coming over to this pad over here on my right hand side and start forming this face. Just letting that fall down on there with the weight of this rod, which is substantial. There's a little push. I'm going to spread this face out pretty wide. And then we want to try and correct keep this on center and push on an edge if it seems like it's a little off square. Don't have to get too crazy about that, but we want to maintain a good axis there. Okay, we're going to have a succession of build-up layers here, but first we're going to heat this up and push it into this green and blue frit that I've got laid out in my little spiraling arm pattern. So we want to get this face good and hot. And we want to get out of the heat so we can do this right in front. Probably didn't see that, but anyway, we picked up a bunch of frit. And the next thing I'm going to do go ahead and get my Kevlar glove on here. That plate's probably a little hot. I'm going to put that remaining frit away. Just to be pretty clean. And then I'm going to partially do the compression on this end here. And keep our heat up. There's a couple steps here that I have to try and maintain some heat base. So you have to understand this is the first try at doing this with this little patterning of frit idea. So we're hitting the edge, and we're going to start bringing this edge down. Trying to get this to fall down. So trying to kind of gauge where I want to be at for the next layer. and get a little bit more heat on the face. Kind of play around with some angles. Okay, then we're going to go get our next ingredient. Okay. So what we have here is some silver filings. And this material is a lot finer. I thought, ideally this tool would be made out of brass. Maybe a brass strip would work better. You can probably at your hardware store find some appropriate size brass sheet metal already in a strip. That last pickup, I was actually surprised how much Frit came up. It's a lot more dense than I kind of expected. So my piece is sitting there cooling down, so I can't screw around with this forever. And I don't currently have a kiln that I can really work out of to put stuff in. Ideally I should have just been able to garage that in a kiln. But I figured I could do this quickly enough. Let's see. Maybe go a little bit off axis, slump a little. Just reheat, trying to kind of throw the heat into the bulk of the glass that was already hot, not get into the rod very much. Until we get things pretty warm, and then we can kind of get this to adjust a little. Now the tricky thing is, you try and match up and get right on top of the previous lines, or do we offset them a little bit? The reality is, it's going to happen so fast, I don't know that I can have the control that I wish I had here. So again, we're going to get this face good and hot. Come down here, try and look at my pattern. We got some silver. Kind Some chunk there kind of fell off. Try and do this gently. That silver is going to ball up. There's quite a lot there. It wasn't just a little sprinkle. Okay, let's try and clean up here. Turn that off. We're going to do another layer of frit. With black. Before we get into fiddling around with this, we're going to go through a little bit of compression on this. Do some intense heat off that Lynx torch. So probably the silver probably went on there way heavier than I kind of originally anticipated. Turn this down. Okay. Pay attention to that. Okay, let's try that. Kind of a crease on this back lens side, which is less than ideal. I'll clean that up. Okay, I better wait a second here for this to settle down. Okay, now we're going to go for the black frit here. I don't know where we're going with this, but we're going somewhere. See where this turns out. kind of off center. Quiet this flame down. And recollect my center here. Okay, that last one was black. And be on center, and then I let it droop. Now we'll try and do a full compression of this layered cake. Got my inspiration mug of marbles past. Truth be told, that's why I started doing these videos, so I could remember how the heck I made things. I got lots of cool old marbles that I don't really know what I did there, or what colors I used, and even if I try and recreate something I've done before, it's not going to be the same. They rarely turn out all that much the same. With these complicated kind of patterns and designs, I mean, there are simpler marbles you can make a series of them pretty much the same. But to me, that's a big attraction of this process, is each time you go into this, you don't really know where it's all going. There's so many different little variables and things that pop up along the way, and I already think it's like, oh, shouldn't have done that. Or that wasn't what I was looking for. But it's pretty rare that the end result is such a disaster that I'm embarrassed to show it to anyone. So I've had a couple in this past years where I used glass that I should know better. It wound up with cracking problems, and that's kind of part of the game too, is see what you can get away with. Sometimes you get away with things, and the next time you do it, the next 10 times you do it, it fails. And I think, what? Thought I was doing the same thing, using the same glass, doing the same technique. But it's not always quite that simple. Okay, this is going to be pretty stubborn at compressing the way I want it, but interesting effects guaranteed. This is definitely a lengthy step in the process here, is getting this folding around compression. And I've got complex layers here, which seems like they're kind of resisting this step. But you wind up with different glass. Some glass gets quite fluid quite readily, and it will transform very rapidly, and some glass is stiff and really is reluctant to transform with this technique. Okay, we'll just try and use a little patience. But I did manage to create some, instead of just a flat face of Frit, create some pattern in it. And I got some ideas for some much more complicated patterns that I'll be working on here before too long. See if I can demonstrate how to generate a more complex pattern. And of course, the grain size of the Frit you're using, or the glass powder, some things you're going to really want to get more of a fine grain fill that will give you more detail, because the grains of Frit are kind of like the pixels in a picture. Got big grains, you're going to have big pixels, and you're going to have a hard time getting detail. I don't have any really nice sieves to grade Frit or something like that, but see what I can come up with. See if I can find some screening material that get me to take some of the Frit that I have and reduce it down to the finer particles, or just have to order some fine grain Frit. Comes in many different grades. Okay, warmed up now. Got a couple layers on. Weather's not crazy cold, but I haven't been out here in the shop for a while, so the shop was not very warm when I came out. Yeah, stubborn. So when I'm trying to get a lot of heat going on here, I still want that heat focused on the outside edge. And I've contemplated, I kind of foresaw this might get this way, and there's some other things I might do here to handle this reluctance to draw this down to a point. Maybe I don't want a point. Maybe the glass is telling me something. That red wax to give a hard cone of heat there. starting to throw some more heat, so it'll just up up the end. Okay, well, this is being quite stubborn, and we're going to do another method here. Where we just add some glass. So that's step one. Step two is we're going to do a little gold fume. Dang, this rod is hot, hot, hot. Okay, and we're just going to add some clear pillows around here. Look kind of in between. That didn't stick entirely. Here a little further. Oops, sorry. Okay, then back to our previously scheduled transformation here. allows some other glass to be able to move. Because at this step, what I'm trying to do is get to our cone shape. And I also have the ability to pluck some of this off. That's one way I've used to kind of force that compression technique to finish up. Okay. Now this up. It's probably a little toasty. Let's see, where we're going next. We're doing some Lapis. Trying to direct the heat up on the shoulder a little bit more, and this tip gets hot easily, but this is where you got to build up some heat. You want that frit to stick up that far. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of hot. Got some little Kevlar knit gloves that can help out when you're working around some hot stuff. Okay, I think we're done with frit. That's a lot of different frit there. So let that frit just kind of do its thing, balling up on its own, leaving an open structure for our next step. Okay, and that next step is going to be some gold fume, and then we're going to put the black backing on there, so we want this background to have some reflective shiny gold. Just trying to make sure we got plenty of gold on there. When I chase down these valleys, and I want to a little more heat onto the stringer and push it in there and see if I can just kind of fill in that gap. Okay, let's see what we got. So in this step where I'm kind of pushing the glass in, I'm also kind of dragging it, get it to kind of push into those grooves. And sometimes we get to this point and there may be signs of bubbles. You can kind of interrupt some of that bubble stuff just pushing into it with glass. It's actually filled in quite well. Okay, well, we have created quite the alien landscape inside there. Now we're up to filling in the backside. But first, I'll throw in some silver fume. Well, I think all those initial Frit layers were much heavier than what I originally kind of thought. It picked up a lot more Frit. I thought it would leave most of the Frit behind. That's why I have an idea for another application of Frit that'll be a little more controlled. Well, at least I included all my steps. I didn't write down any notes for this. It's been in my head for a while. I come up on that edge. I'm trying to leave just a little sliver of color exposed. I don't want to drop clear all the way over that color edge. Push this together, and keeping that clear glass over to the side. And likewise on the tip here, push that clear glass back. Keep it away from that exposed color on the tip. Okay, that leaves a whole bunch in between. Keep the high heat going here. Yeah, that's leaving that big fire going is kind of hot too. Didn't get too close down to the end of that stick, but it was getting a little bit too hot to work with. We're supposed to get some sunshine today. I've yet to see it peek out. Makes such a huge difference in the wintertime for our house. It's kind of passive solar. So when we have some sun, it warms up the house nicely, especially if there's snow on the ground like we have right now. Just a little bit of snow on the ground. It reflects that sunlight, and we don't have to burn so much firewood. My fan on a variable speed control, so I'll pump up the fan a little bit. Sorry if that makes more crazy noise. Okay, let me come out of the heat. Okay, now we're going to put backing lines on. We'll start with a Aqua blue. It seemed a little slow going. Turn that flame up just a tad. So this is this green glass. I'm probably going to use this green glass in every backing color for a while. I haven't had a green that I could use like this before. This works just real easy. It's a nice solid green. Didn't work on the inside of my marbles, but maybe on a smaller marble. Some of these colors are, you know, sort of semi-okay with encasement. Well, some encasement just needs a 1/8 of an inch layer of clear on top, and that may be acceptable to that glass. But burying it deep inside was a big bust. Didn't work for me anyway. I tried some different kiln cycles, and it's just not worth it if it's that hard to use. Put too much time and effort in one of these to just have it become another reminder marble on my desk. Reminder piece, don't do this. Which is funny how many times I repeat quote-unquote mistakes, if you will, and keep getting the same bad results, so I don't know why I expect anything different. Alright, cranking up the noise here. I actually tweak this audio during recording, and I tweak it later. You know, I do an equalization curve and stuff while I'm recording, and then I do some editing in the production phase where I do some limiting and compression and get that noise level down. To burn out that last color. I guess maybe I didn't say it was amber purple, double amber purple. So right now I'm trying to chase the haze, the purple haze you don't want. Not sure how well this shows up on camera, but that line of purple amber just running down here slowly and getting that kind of superheated. Keep this on center. Hearing voices, but it's on my audio. Alright. See if we can create some squiggles. Trying to kind of come up on this previous lines and kind of drag into them just a little bit. So I'm not crossing over lines, but dragging them into the pattern. That went pretty clean. Gently kind of bring in that end. Use that marble mold to kind of chill that down a little bit. So we can put a punty on there. Okay, trying to build up some excess glass there so I can rip that off. Pushing that Lynx torch a bit here. And remember, I'm just running off concentrator oxygen, so I don't have a lot of pressure on the oxygen. Okay. Let's peel some glass out. We're getting there. Okay, a little bit of a mess there. A little out of sync there. Okay. My snow boots on, so I can't feel my foot pedal so well. And usually when you do that, switching on the outer fire, depends on your torch, but these Red Max torches tend to throw some carbon. So it's best to not have your hot glass right in front of the torch when you make that switch. Sometimes it'll throw chunks of carbon, which you can pick out of the clear glass here pretty easily, but kind of annoying. Work the skin for a minute here. swap punties. Still moving on the puntee. I'm trying to spin it to keep it centered up. Rip off this remnants of this other puntee seal. Just got to get this middle transition zone to come out a little further. Using a little bit of pressure here, squeeze that glass together. Okay, I think that backside is pretty good. Just kind of fire polish that back face. Yeah, give it a minute. And try and get any foreign glass removed from that end. Okay. Slow rotations here. And try and get that heat to kind of soak in for a moment. Looking pretty good. So I think I'm basically got the right shape there. I'm going to avoid the marble mold and just let this cool off a little bit and then do one more flame polish and we should be about there. We're getting some colors popping out on the back. And we don't see that very much on the video, but it's looking nice. That's a nice mirror effect in the background. This is just kind of a high heat, slow rotations, just trying to kind of level out any surface bugaboos. You have to be careful, just keep some rotations going, don't let it sag. I'll point it down a little bit after it's kind of set for a second. It just kind of fall into shape. The heat rise back up inside there and kind of equalize the temperatures. Well, that silver didn't had way too much. It didn't do it all what I was trying to do there, but it's okay. You learn some things with this process. Well, I've got some fun stuff going on there. So, welcome to 2025. First marble. We are so grateful for all of you guys hanging out watching any of these silly videos. Okay, well, be sure to follow along. I've got more to come. Alrighty, here we go into the kiln. pray to the kiln gods that everything goes good with that. That's a lot of silver in there. We'll see how that, hopefully it doesn't just explode. It should be okay. So take care of yourselves. We really want you to all be well and enjoy life and be at peace. Find your peace, find your zen. And we will see you again on another adventure next time. Take care, everyone.